order process with iShow. The process won't be any different than we've used over the last couple of years. I've asked Joel to do the presentation this morning, and then we'll record it and be sending it out so that you'll be able to log in. There's a demo customer and a demo vendor in the system that you can log in, and you can use that to kind of play around with before we start to roll meetings on Monday. So at this point in time, I'll turn it over to Joel and let him go through the presentation. Thank you.
Thanks, Rodney. I understand that Rodney has taken you all through the Vendex or the web portion of the Vendex video. So I'm not going to go into any of that. I'm here to show you the order system that you're going to be using. It's a little bit different for the customers and for the vendors. So as we go along, I'll show you the differences, and you guys can figure out a strategy as to how you want to show this to the customers and put in orders. Okay. I'm going to show you just 5 slides here that'll give you an idea of what we're doing. You should have gotten an instruction sheet from Rodney that explains where you go to on your browser in order to get to the iShow. The iShow system is very similar to the system that you use at the show. So anybody who have used iShow at a show before, it's going to be the same. If you're new here, you'll see that it's pretty easy to use, pretty intuitive, and you can ask your questions when we have time. We highly recommend that you use Google Chrome. That works best with our system. They seem to keep theirs up to date more. Okay. Safari will also work. This is a Macintosh-based system, so Safari will work also. Okay. There's going to be some practice customers here. You can go ahead and put in practice orders using your actual login. The fake orders that you put in should be used with these fake customers, though. We have D0000. That's a 3-store chain. And then we have fake 0000, which is a fake independent. Okay. And I'll show you where you'd put that in iShow. Okay. The independent customers are going to be ordering on their own after, obviously, you have your meetings. Like I said, do not practice with real customers. As we go along, you'll see why. Okay. The customers are going to order through tradeshoweasy.com. That is this where you guys have logged in to do any of your deals. They would log in at that same login page, but they go to the customer order site. Okay. It shows all the same information as the customer site, but customers see all the deals from all of the vendors. That's the difference between what they see and what you see. You are only going to see your deals. Okay. At their site, they'll be able to send emails to each vendor. Okay. If they have questions, they want to negotiate, they may send emails, and I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. Vendor order reports will be available after the show. If you log in with your login information that you use to put your deals in, put in your product information, your videos, your pictures, you can go to that site, and there's an orders tab after the show, and you can get your reports there. So make sure you save your username and password that were given to you a long time ago. Okay, we're doing a video. So if you need to see anything later on, Cormark will send out a link to you where you can go onto YouTube and view this video. Okay, so let's get started. Can everyone see the screen here? Hope so.
Yes.
Okay. This is the iShow login page, okay, where the vendors are going to go to their iBooth, okay. This is what you'll see when you go to that URL that I gave you, cmnn-ishow.tradeShowEasy.com/home, and that will take you to this page, okay. We put all the information in blue for you guys to follow along. We try and figure out what the next you're going to take is, and we put all those in blue. So you're going to go to your booth. Cormark should have sent you your iShow booth number and a password. Okay, this is a fake vendor, and I'm going to show you here. You'll put that in. You just type in your password, and then you enter your booth. Once you get to your booth, you have like 6 different areas you can go to. Most of the time, you're going to be putting in orders, but you can look at leads and send leads. You can look at your orders by item or look at your orders later on by customer. Okay, so as customers are putting in orders and as you're putting in orders, it's going to gather here so you can check it at any time. Okay, let's go in and do a new order. You're going to click new order, and I'm going to use a fake chain. That's what you want to use to put in a order for a fake change. You hit place order, and it tells you this is who you're putting in. Is that correct? Okay, so make sure that the number you put in here is the actual chain that you're wanting to put the order in for. You hit confirm, and it's going to go in, and because this is a chain and has 3 stores, it's going to ask you to put or to say who you're selling to first. That's a little bit different than what the customers will see, and I'll show you that in a little bit. So let's say you want to sell for all the stores. You can hit select all. It selects all 3 of the stores. You hit OK, and this is always an indication of who you're selling to. You're selling to all 3 locations here. And to change this at any time, you can just click that button, and it comes back to this screen. You can take one off, and now you're only selling to 2 locations. Make sense? Okay. Ocean Spray is our fake vendor here. You guys are going to be demonstrating to the customers some of your product info, some of your photos of new products, and if you have any videos loaded, you can show that. To show your video, if you have a video, you just click on the photo for that video, and up pops the video.
And we can't just take from nature, so we collaborate.
So you can play the video if you need to. Product information is the same. If you have a sales sheet loaded, like a PDF or a PowerPoint presentation, you can just click on that product info, and it'll pull up the product information that you've loaded. Okay, it can be a 1-page or a 10-page PDF. It really doesn't matter. If you need to put any of those in yet, let us know, and we can give you some time to get that in there before you start your process. Okay. Any of the photos in here can be clicked on, and you'll get a large picture of it. So if you want to show that to them, okay. This one has 5 items for order, showing allowances. The way that you put in an order, if those 2 locations want to buy this second item here, you click the quantity tab, and up pops the weeks of delivery. Here are your weeks of delivery. Okay, so wherever you click on, that's going to turn blue, and then you can put your number in. They want 3 there, and they want 4 there. You hit done, and you just ordered 7 times 2 or 14 total cases of product, okay? Same thing here. Let's say you want to change it and you want to select all. So now you're selling to 3 locations. Anything you put in, let's say they want 1 in each week of delivery, you hit 1, then hit duplicate, and it puts 1 in all of them. You just sold 27 cases, 9 times 3. Okay, it's going to be adding up what you're selling and how many you sold and allowances down here. So you can look at that at any time. Once you're done with the order, you want to review the order with the customer. And this will show everything that they ordered. Okay. Once they're happy with it, you can hit confirm order and it kicks out and you're ready for your next customer. Okay. Questions at this point? Unmute if you need to. Okay.
Joel, I think I just reiterate, because we've had issues before. When you're working with a chain, the order quantity that you're putting in there is the quantity that's going to go to each and every store. So if you have a group that has, let's say, 12 stores and they're wanting to order for that one particular ship week, you don't put 12 in there, you only put 1. The system will calculate it for every location that you're selling it to.
Correct.
You put 12 in there, it's going to be 12 times 12 locations times the number of weeks of delivery. So it's just going to compound.
Yep. So let's say you put in that order. All those orders are going to collect under your orders area. You can look there. You can see the order that you just put in for that chain. If you want to view that order and go back and look at it and edit that order, you can go back and do it. Anytime you're going to edit an order, let's say this guy wants 9. This location wants 9. All you have to, or wants 10. You click that, okay, and you find the one you want to change. You clear it, and you put a 2 in. Okay, you hit done, and now they've ordered 10. Okay, so anytime you're editing an item, you always want to, if you want to totally change it, you can clear all and then put in what's correct. 5 there and 5 there. Hit done, and now it's 10. Whatever you put in there last is what the final order is. It isn't adding to what you put in there. You want to clear it and then edit the quantity based on what the new order is. Okay. Okay, you confirm that order, and away you go. Okay. Now I want to show you what the customer sees when they're putting in orders. The customers are going to be at tradeshoweasy.com putting their orders in. They come to a site that looks pretty similar, except it's going to have all the vendors listed. All the vendors in the whole show are listed here. So when they're on with you, they can be on their computer putting in an order also. I would suggest that you guys decide how you want to do that, whether the vendor's going to put in the order or the customer, because it can get confusing if both of you are putting in orders. Okay. So
Joe,
yeah,
we're only using Vendex, the one-on-one customer meetings that we're doing through WebEx or virtual this year.
okay.
The independent one-day trade show that we've had before is not really virtual. It's virtual to the customer, but the vendors aren't having individual customer meetings.
Okay.
The only meetings the vendors are having are with the customers that we normally do on the 2-day show.
So the vendor,
so they won't even see this point. The only one that's placing their own orders would be Red Mesa, just like they did last year.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's say, so then I don't even need to show this portion to them.
No.
Okay. All right. Just to give you I'm going to give you one little clue here as to what could happen. Here is that, here's Ocean Spray, which was our fake vendor, and it's got those orders in there that we put in there, so they would see it if they go online that way. If this is you're throughout the independent ordering, they have the ability to ask a vendor a question through email. So they can click on this email, put in their message, and send it to the vendor. And you may get an email during the show from an independent that asks questions, wants to negotiate, could be anything. Okay? If they send you one through this email function, that email is going to look like this. You will get a copy of it, and Cormark will get a copy of it, and then you can answer their email. This is kind of what the email is going to look like. Okay? Okay. Is there any questions at this point?
Joe, it's live. I mean, Joel, it's live right now. If you go and use the demo, right? We don't want to be using the chain numbers that Jimmy sent out. But if you want to use the demo,
Yep.
that's fine. Use the demo in practice.
Correct. Use the two fake numbers that I gave you. You can use your own log in using your own your own login information. Okay. So whatever login information they gave you to put in here, you can use that, but it's going to go to fake customers, and we'll delete those fake customers before the show.
Hi, Joel. This is Gail from Acosta. How are you?
Good, Gail. What's up?
Well, a couple things. You stated a couple things about adding product info at this time. We can still do that. Is that correct?
Such as what?
Allow it.
Hello?
So what are we trying to add?
Well, there might be a presentation sheet. So it's my understanding that we go to the WebEx, and then as soon as we go to the WebEx, we would pull up the iShow order form. And in the order form, we can just click on the presentation to the left. Is that how that works? Or do we pull a presentation off of our desktop and talk about it?
You can do that either way.
Have everything.
If you haven't loaded it, you could do it by pulling it off your desktop. It's up to you.
So we're gonna have the iShow screen open, and then we're gonna have another screen open that we're gonna share with them with our presentation. And after the presentation, we're gonna go back to the iShow order form and put the orders in. Is that how you envision it to work?
Correct.
I think it's going to be uniquely to each individual or vendor as to how they want to handle placing those orders. But I mean, yes, the way Matt presented in the Vendex meeting or in the WebEx meetings is that you would, if you were going to have some kind of presentation, you would present that. You could then go to iShow and present your deals, or you could basically present it all within the same deal. So if you want to add the presentation as a PDF into your access from iShow, we can do that, yes.
Okay, all right. I'll send a email to Jimmy and let him know that I want to do that. I think that would be simpler instead of toggling back and forth in different screens. It's all compacted right here. For the first item, I would just put the complete presentation for all of the items. And then, we can go back and then put the orders in. I think that's probably the best way to handle it.
Makes sense.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Yeah, this is Diane with Advantage. So if you're tag teaming this, one of them's presenting and the other one's on a totally different computer in a different state, putting the orders in, would it be best for us to do it that way, or just write the orders down and confirm with the customer that this is what they want?
No, if you want to have someone else putting the actual order in and one doing the presentation, you can be on two different computers and both be logged into the same area. One would be doing the doing the demo using this, and then the other one could be not on the WebEx, but just putting orders in. That would work. It's the
Okay,
same
then, but at
login
the
information.
very end, when you want to show the customers what they've ordered,
Yeah.
would you just review it
Yeah, what
via
I would do-
verbally or?
Yeah, I mean, it'll show up on your screen after they've put in the order, even though if you're the one giving the presentation, what I would do is just hit the review order button and it's going to show them exactly what they ordered. Okay, even if
Okay,
it's put
so-
in on another screen.
Okay,
Because it's web-based, it's going to refresh, within seconds constantly.
Correct.
So as long as you go back and forth, and like Joel mentioned, I mean, you could have a number of people in the same, logged into the trade show easy, one presenting, one doing orders, one maybe reviewing, but you all can be in the same customer at the same time without issue.
Correct.
and then one last question is, so when we're gonna get our reports, usually what we could do is at the end of the show, I can pull the report and see where we're at. But in some shows, they have a couple days of where orders can be adjusted if the customer wants to order more, et cetera. When would I have the final report that I can pull?
As mentioned in the WebEx training meetings, the show will be open until Sunday the 6th. We will close it Monday, September the 7th early.
Perfect. Sorry, missed that one. Thank you.
This is Gail from Acosta again. So, do we have customer, for the meetings, like Pack-a-Sack is first on Monday morning? Do we already have their customer number so we could go to our booth, type in their customer number, and we can pull up the screen for all of our vendors at that point and go through the presentation that way?
That would have to come from Cormac.
Now, one more time, what was your question again?
Okay, my question is, when Pack-a-Sack is coming on at 7:20 on Monday morning.
Okay.
So we want to share our screen, right? So
Right.
log into the WebEx and go immediately to iShow. And iShow will have all the products listed and all the presentations to the left by the product info. But do we have we have our booth number, I understand that, in order to get into iShow. But do we have Pack-a-Sack's customer number and Delix customer number, Red Mesa's? Do we
I believe
have
you're not going to have Red Mesa because they're placing their own orders, but the other chains, I believe Matt has sent that information out to everyone that has the list of all the chain customers that are participating from all three divisions.
Mhm.
It has their chain number and it has the number of stores. That chain number is the customer number.
Okay, all right. I can't open up an email right now to see if we had that or not. I just wanted to verify that we had we can immediately put in the go right to that screen and have everything ready and booted up.
Yeah, you're obviously going to have those customer numbers. So the nice thing is,
Yeah.
if you're on with the customer, they're going to know their number for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if for some reason you don't have the customer number, for whatever reason, they'll log on and you'll be talking and they can just get to you and you can go into the iShow at that point, correct?
Correct.
Cool, thank you.
Hey, Joel, this is Don Hagedorn from Golden Valley.
Yeah.
Can we still add videos to our presentation?
Yeah, if you send me the YouTube link for it, I can put it up for you.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has to be a YouTube or Vimeo. You don't want to send me something that's on your website or something like that.
Has to be YouTube, or what was the other one?
Vimeo, which is another YouTube-like place.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I'm going to quickly show you how the brokers are going to log in. This is Acosta. So when they log in, and then they go to their, let's say they want to put a new order in, and I'm going to put in fake 0000, place the order. Okay. The way that they can toggle is for all their vendors is right here. There's a toggle for all their vendors. So if they're going to just deal with bug juice, they can go to bug juice, go to Kellogg's as they need to. Okay. That's just an easy way for the vendor, the brokers to log in once and see all their vendors. Okay. Okay, that's about it for my
Joel,
end. Is there any other
there's
questions?
a couple questions. There's a couple questions here. The site is live now. If they wanted to log in with their information and test with the demo customer, is that correct?
That is correct. It is open now.
And then the site is cmnm.ishow.tradeshoweasy.com/home. Is that correct?
That's correct.
The next question, we talked about the customers or the chains and their chain numbers. I believe that Matt Houtow sent that out to everybody. If you don't have it, it should be on the Cormark trade show webpage. I'm sure I know Matt sent out tons of communication on all that stuff, so you should have it. If not, reach out to myself or Matt or Jimmy again, and we'll make sure that you get it. The vendor logon information with your booth number and your password, I believe Jimmy sent that out yesterday. If you don't have that, reach out to Jimmy or myself, and we'll get that to you. One last question is with the meetings, I believe the meetings are 20-minute meetings. That's start to finish, so you have a little intro time and a little time to close things up. The question is, if they only have 10 minutes, do you have any idea how much time it'll take to put the order in? I guess it just depends on the number of the number of customers in the chain, if they're grouping it in A, B, C, if they're bouncing back and forth between those groups, or they're just ordering
Correct.
everything for group A,
Correct.
or the entire chain. If you have, let's say 25 items and you're trying to run across through those, it's probably going to take a little more time than it would somebody that's got 6, 8, 10 items. So you'll just have to kind of judge that on your own as to what kind of time it's going to take, and you may want to walk through and let them say, yeah, I want this and this and this and this on these ship dates, and you write that down and you place them after the fact instead of tying up your meeting time with that. I think I got everything that was in the chat. Some people, I guess, are on mute and can't get off. If there's any other questions, if you put them in the chat, we'll get to them. If not, send myself or Jimmy an email. We'll make sure we get them addressed.
Okay. If you need any support in terms of the order site, not in terms of the WebEx, but in terms of the order site, you can go to tradeshoweasy.com to the login page that you all use to get into do your deals, and all the support information is right here. Okay. Any other questions?
I don't see anything else popping up, Joe. Appreciate your time. And
okay, great. Have a great show, and if you have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to get a hold of me.
Thanks, guys.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.